O priceless treasure of knowledge, you are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. You are in all the worlds. You are the ocean of attributes. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Yezdan, you are Rizad, you are Allah and Ishwar. You are Ram and you are Buddha. You are beloved Lord Krishna, who with one finger lifted the mountain. You alone exist. You are the beyond God, and the beyond God also. O ocean of kindness, you alone exist. You are Mohammed, you are perfection personified. You are knowledge itself, and you alone exist. You live in everyone, and you are everyone. Oh beloved, you are the enlightened one, and you alone exist. You are with attributes and without attributes. You are the sole player in the divine game. You alone exist. You are matchless, the only one. You reside in every heart, and you alone exist. You are eternal, emotionless, and immovable is your abode. You are the highest, you alone exist. You are the doer, the deed, and the cause of doing. The sustainer you are, and the master of masters, you alone exist. You are the seeker, the worship, and the sadhana. Oh, Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are in front and behind. You are above and below. Oh Lord, you live in every house, and you alone exist. You are beyond, yet you remain within everyone. You are all pervading, and you alone exist. In each neighborhood, you are the sustainer. You yourself are all worlds, and you alone exist. Everywhere, whether above or below, you are complete. You alone. You are unseen, yet seen also. You live in everyone, forgiving each his sins. You alone exist. There's no one without you. You are manifest and unmanifest as you alone exist. You are man, you are birds, you are fish and animals, for you alone exist. You are bugs and gnats, you are snakes and scorpions, you are ants and mosquitoes, you alone exist. You are insects, you are lice, you are dogs, asses and pigs, you alone exist. You are deer and elephants, you are cats and monkeys, you alone exist. You are the moon and the stars, the dawn and the night, and the sun and also the light, you alone exist.
I kept it 2 years ago. I kept it and I did not compose. So that line I remembered and I composed 6 couplets. And then Baba was in mood. So he would do like this. He was playing your tabla, drum. And he would just compose 1 couplet and I would write. And then another couplet, 28 means 22 couplets in no time he composed. And what was there? I am elephant, I am horse, I am donkey, I am mosquito, I am bugs. So all these 28 couplets. And then we went to Pune. We went to Pune and then I was still working on that book because Baba had also asked to versify the discourses. So I was working on that. I would remain in upstairs and people would come, and he had asked his own nephew to sing. So he was singing. And what he was singing? I am elephant, I am donkey, I am mosquito. So then I am bugs. And I did not know what was going on there because I was busy with that work. So at 3 o'clock, I would get down and go to Baba's room for watch. And here Balnatu and one person was there. What's the matter? Why do you laugh? So Balnatu says, this is the prayer? This is the prayer? I am elephant, I am the dog, I am the cat. This is the prayer? I did not say a word. And I went to Baba. And I said, Baba, should I change a little bit this prayer? Baba says, this is the only prayer which gives all-pervading nature of God. God is in everyone and everything. This is the only prayer which gives all-pervading nature of God. Don't change anything. Don't change anything. So when God is in everything, I'm not in the rascals. I'm in them also. I'm also in ant. Baba dumped his body, and I would be in my room. Nobody would know that I was there alive. No, nobody, because I would be very busy and I would not want to see anyone. Give something to me to read. I said, what to do now? What to give? So I gave that prayer. I had already translated it into English. So I gave that prayer and I said that this is composed by Baba himself. I have not composed. I composed only 6 couplets. Who was there? Who was laughing? So at dinner time, when I came out, so he said, that prayer? Of course, I felt touched. I said, this very person, he was laughing at me. Now he feels touched with the prayer. Because he came to know that Baba composed. Devi Nadin had come for the savas and to sing. So she was singing, the whole atmosphere was changed. It was quite different. I'd never heard. I never heard because I cannot sing, so I never tried and I never gave to anyone. But now they have started this. And it was really, when you hear, then you just see God is in everyone, all-pervading nature of God. Prayers are there. You are so high and this, you are, no one is equal to you, this. We just hear all this. But I am an ant, I am in bugs. No. So this prayer, of course, he had given to me. Now I realize the importance of that. Baba said, don't change even a word of it. Keep it as such. And he himself put my name there. I am not composed. It is not composed by 22 couplets Baba himself composed.
Can't hear you, Roshni.
Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'll just, okay. I'm reading this passage from the online version of Lord Meher, page number 4977. September 1962. Bhau was translating some of the discourses into Hindi. One day, Baba handed him the manuscript and gestured, I want you to translate this into Hindi and make it interesting for the Hindi-speaking people, in bracket. Bhau said, if it is interesting in English, naturally it will be interesting in Hindi. Baba replied, that I don't know. I want you to make it interesting, and the language should be simple. Bhau thought over what Baba had said. It occurred to him to put the whole book in dialogue form, and he completed one discourse in this style. He read it to Baba, who was pleased and complimented him. Yes, this is what I meant. Baba also suggested songs should be included and mentioned there should be a prayer too. Bhau remembered that back in 1959, Baba had given him a special couplet in Hindi. He found the couplet, made it the first couplet of the ghazal, and composed 11 more to go with it. The next evening, when he went for watch, Baba asked, "Did you compose the prayer?" And hearing that he had, Baba asked Bhau to read it to him. Baba was pleased, but stated the prayer should be longer. Baba was in a very good mood that day, and drumming his thighs with his fists in rhythm to the lines, he began composing new couplets, which Bhau wrote down. Sitting on his bed, Baba dictated 17 more couplets, and thus the poetic prayer, Tum hi to ho, God, you alone exist, came into being. In a later period, Meher Baba stated that one day this prayer would be recited by people in their homes throughout the world. In footnotes, this prayer was first printed in its entirety as part of the introduction to The Nothing and the Everything by Bhau Kalchuri, which was his first book published in English, written under Meher Baba's direction, 1982. There are several other stories of how the entire Mandli had laughed, just as Bhauji said, and they really thought that Bhauji had lost it. And how could he ever? So, a preceding incident story, words to effect, that is heard is that there was a conversation that for time to come, if anybody had to know in future generations had to know who is God, what is God, then how can we explain, and what would we say? And this was a offhand conversation that was there among the Mandli during one tea time episode that is read in Lord Meher. And these attributes, when were shared with all the Mandli, everybody had laughed, but Baba had told everyone, and not told, rather, that he had given. And so, as Bhauji said, that until Balnatu knew that Baba had composed, that is when he felt touched by the prayer. But before that, everybody had made Bhauji a laughing stock based on the words that were written. I will share another short video with Cyrus Khambata, who will share some further anecdotes about You Alone Exist.
So Baba heard those 11 stanzas which Bhauji had written in Hindi. I'm talking about only Hindi, right? And Baba liked it very much. And he was in a very good mood. So he said, sit, I'm going to give you some more. And then he gave 17 stanzas more to Bhauji. And Bhauji said he was in such a good mood, so Bhauji would write it. And that became a so-called prayer poem of Bhauji. Although Bhauji says it is so much of Baba's, but Baba never said that I had given it. So one fine day in Guru Prasad, Bhauji also did not know that Sheru was Baba's nephew. You know Sheru, Baba's nephew, Rustam Sorab's elder brother. So Baba would call Sheru when Baba was in Pune, Guru Prasad, to narrate this entire poem on an everyday basis, which he did not know. And there were people sitting around, And of course, in that, Dr. C.D. Deshmukh was there, and Balnatu was there. So when they heard all these things, then one fine day, Bhauji came over there, and they laughed at him. As to what sort of prayer you have written? You are a mosquito, you are a bug, you are a gnat, you are a pig, and all this. Is this the way? And of course, Bhauji never said that it was Baba's composition. So at night time, Bhauji told Baba that this is how they are laughing at all these things. And then Baba said that you are not going to change a single word, and this is going to be a very precious prayer, a very popular prayer in future for posterities in times to come, for people to realize that God is not just in the good and the beautiful things, but He is also in all these things which we shun, which we think is very ugly and dirty and all that. But God is in all these things also. So that is a very small narrative.
Jai Baba. I will read one more little thing which Baba has said. About this poetic prayer, Meher Baba commented, I like this prayer because it tells people who I am, what I am. People do not know who or what I am, and so they need this prayer to know me, to understand me. I gave this prayer to them. A day will come when they will know this. In the future, this prayer of mine will be sung in every house throughout the world. We will now begin to read the couplets of this wonderful prayer that Baba has given. And we will pause with two couplets and then open it for a little discussion on what each one feels or anything that comes to your heart about it, or if you know of any other story or anecdote connected to this important prayer, we will share that. O priceless treasure of knowledge, you are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. You are in all the worlds, you are the ocean of attributes. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Yazdan, you are Izad, you are Allah and Ishwar. You are Ram and you are Buddha. You are beloved Lord Krishna, who with one finger lifted the mountains. You alone exist. So, would anyone like to share something on these first two couplets? Havovi Auntie, Jai Baba, you would surely know something more on this. Please unmute and share anything. You need to unmute, Havovi Auntie. Uh, Havovi Auntie can't hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just saying Jai Baba to everybody. I love to listen in. Hello, I'm trying to unmute.
Yes, you are. We can hear you.
Okay. Well, I just say Jai Baba to everyone and really enjoyed this whole program and all the singers. And nothing much to say except that, of course, Baba knows best. And you know how important every singer, you know, what we say, and also Baba's always said, try not to kill all these little things that, you know, actually I'm a very bad rapport with dogs, and Baba's made me feed Mastan, you know, and now I know how Mastan is so important in Baba's thing. And so I realized that I still have to take a couple of lifetimes before I can start appreciating ants and cats and rats, even dogs, in fact. Bad with dogs, unfortunately. Anyway, uh, Baba, bless all of you and lovely listening into your talk, Roshni. It's very, very enlightening. Baba bless. Jai Baba.
Thank you, Havovi Auntie. Would love if anybody else would like to share anything about the prayer song. Anything that you know, or if it has been a part of your journey with Baba in any way. and then we'll go on to the next two couplets. Okay, so we'll give the breather if
Cyrus
anybody.
say something.
Yes, no, I don't know if Cyrus is there right now,
Because he's
but
very
this was, I
knowledgeable.
recorded this. I recorded this with Cyrus.
Yeah, this is very interesting.
Thank you.
Enjoyed all the singing also very much.
So I'll move ahead with the next few stanzas, verses. You are the beyond God and the beyond God also. O ocean of kindness, you alone exist. You are Muhammad, you are perfection personified. You are knowledge itself, and you alone exist. You live in everyone, and you are everyone. O beloved, you are the enlightened one, and you alone exist. You are without attributes and with attributes. Sorry. You are the sole player in the divine game. You alone exist. You are matchless, the only one. You reside in every heart, and you alone exist. You are eternally motionless, and immovable is your abode. You are the highest, for you alone exist. You are the doer, the deed, and the cause of doing. The sustainer you are, and the master of masters. You alone exist. You are the seeker, the worship, and the sadhana. O Meher God incarnate, you alone exist. You are in the front and behind. You are above and below. O Lord, you live in every house, and you alone exist. You are beyond, yet you remain within everyone. You are all pervading, and you alone exist. You are in each neighborhood. You are the sustainer. You yourself are all worlds, and you alone exist. Everywhere, whether above or below, you are complete. You alone exist. You are unseen, yet seen also. You live in everyone, forgiving each his sins. You alone exist. There is no one without you. You are manifesting and unmanifest as you alone exist. You are man, you are birds, you are fish and animals, for you alone exist. You are bugs and gnats, you are snakes and scorpions, you are ants and mosquitoes, for you alone exist. So, how many have faced this thing with Baba in the form of bugs and mosquitoes and all of that, as Havobi Auntie just mentioned? So, I had this. I would creep out with all these crawly things. And after over a period of time, when this prayer song got onto me, I would, every time that I would see any of these crawly creatures, I would say, Baba, I don't like this form of you around me. So please take them away into the elemental world and let them be outside my house. Let them not come around me in my surroundings. And I would fervently keep praying to Baba and say, thank you, Baba, for taking them away. Thank you, Baba, for taking them away. And yes, it helped a lot of getting over this thing, and then seeing all these little crawlies and everyone as Baba, and then got into the frenzy of picking them up, and there would be something small way there down the floor on my living room, and I would catch that and I would see that, and several times of Baba's face popping up on so many different things, reminding that he is everyone and everything. So, yes, please raise your hands if anybody. Let's open up the floor with all of us sharing something, and then we'll move ahead to read out more of the couplets. Would be great to listen. Yes, Diana, please.
I share your feelings, Roshini, but we have to remember that we need all of these bugs and insects for the health of our whole ecosystem. If you study horticulture, you talk about beneficial insects, and there are many. So, the other side. Jai Baba.
Yes, Jai Baba, of course, yes. This was just just an innocent prayer of telling Baba not to keep them around me, not having them walk over me, and keeping these lovely forms into our elemental world where, in the surroundings where they are needed. So, yes, it was just an innocent heart praying to Baba when I would jump at seeing something around on the bed or on my table. Yes, Marcia, Jai Baba. Marcia, please unmute.
Okay, got it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I
Yes.
just wrote this when I turned into your program. So I said, I agree, God alone exists. We are all a part of the creation. To realize God is to surrender and acknowledge that we are not separate and in control, that we are, to realize God is to surrender and acknowledge that we are not separate and in control of our lives. We are God's whim, enabling Him to act through us. We surrender, obey, and serve, and He takes over, and we entrust all we do, think, speak, good or bad, to Baba. I took that from Rick Chapman's prayers and his quotes. But about the bugs, I just moved in this place. It's a funny story. And one day I saw one or two ants, and I went, oh, and I left them alone because I'm not into killing bugs, especially ants are a colony. And then the next day they were all over the pantry, and I'm like, oh boy, this is getting out of control. So I started to take them outside. And then I found out that peppermint oil I read online, and I put a little piece of Kleenex in the closet. And the next day there were 2, 3 scurrying around, but they weren't dead and they left. So for future, peppermint oil works. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcia, for that wonderful hearty tip. Yes. So, all right. So I will move ahead with the rest of the couplets. You are insects, you are lice, you are dogs, asses, and pigs. You alone exist. You are deer and elephants. You are cats and monkeys. You alone exist. You are the moon and the stars, the dawn and the night, and the sun and also the light. You alone exist. You are the wind and the water and the animals of the water. You alone exist. You are silver and gold. You are copper and iron. You are brass and stone. You alone exist. You are tea and coffee and sugar also. You alone exist. You are paper and the book. You are the school and office. You alone exist. You are pen and ink, and you are the gifted writer. You alone exist. Continuing with the insects and all of that. So once there was this moth which was fluttering around the whole house, and it kept on going. I was working on the computer and my cat was running frenzy behind it all through the place. And I was like, why is she keeping on going up and down? And then suddenly I saw her jumping up and looking up towards the ceiling. And this little one was keeping on going. And it just didn't, there were windows which were open, but it wasn't going out, but keeping on going throughout the whole house. So I got up and tried to take my cat away. And then I saw it plonked on my kitchen parapet. And I went there and I was like saying, okay, thank you, Baba, for coming. All right, goodbye. Now you can go back. The windows are open. And I went on chatting. And then after a little while, the wings of the moth slowly opened up. And there, right in the center of that, I see Baba's picture. as an entire face with the hands folded, which is the picture of the Myrtle, I think, Meher Spiritual Center painting, which is there with all those lovely psychedelic colors around Baba. And it was like, oh my God. And then again, the words of the prayer started playing in my ears. I'm bugs, I'm insects, I'm this, I'm that. And I say, okay, I know you are everything, Baba. You alone exist. So like that, he has come up and showed up at funny times in a chapati and at different such places. And always I feel he's reminding that least I forget to bring it back to mind that I am everything, not just in everything. There was a story I briefly remember of, I think, Hababi auntie, please, if you can correct. I think it was Adi's daughter, or I think it was Adi's daughter. She was 7 or 8 year old once, and she asked him that why is all this bad there in the world? Cannot Kaka is the brother of your father? So cannot Kaka take away all this bad since he's God? So he says, I don't know. And I'm saying, how? Like, you don't know. You are God's brother and you don't know? And he says, you ask Kaka only. I don't know about all these things. So when they go to Baba, Baba greets her as usual, pulls her cheek and takes her towards him. And she asks Baba the same thing. So Baba gestures and asks her that, you are so beautiful and, so lovely and all. So she nods and he says, but every day in the morning you go to potty, right? So she said, yes. So then how come you are so beautiful and lovely and all that chichi comes out of you? So she's wondering and like kind of nodding her head as if she's understood what Baba is saying. And to that, Baba culminates that just the way that we are all so beautiful, yet all that, unserving shit comes out in the mornings. The same way the good and the bad coexist in the world, and that is, there in part of the entire divine game plan. And that's what I took away from that little story. Yes, Dilshad has her hands up. Yes, Dilshad, please unmute.
Jai Baba to everyone. There are three incidents that I have come across. If I have your permission, Roshni, to talk about them in Baba's. See, in Lord Meher, it was described that Baba used to sit in the Mandli hall and give the lectures every evening or whatever the time would be. And every evening there would be this one lizard that would come above Baba's head where he would sit, the chair where he was, asan would be, and she would drop her droppings on Baba. And the others would kind of react and not like it, the way we are conditioned. But Baba would say, don't mind, and he would very sweetly wipe away the dropping. And this used to kind of all the time happen. And there also Baba demonstrated, as I understand, that, others used to get more hassled. I also have a deep fear of lizards and I have major problem with them, but I mean, that's another part. Second thing is when Baba was talking about, not harming any creature, not destroying, it also happened that when the Westerners were first had come for the savas, people went and asked Baba because there was a situation that the mattresses had lot of ants. So then, Baba, you don't want us to kill the mosquitoes or you don't want us to destroy. What do we do? Baba, as I always remember Cyrus D's word, is a very practical master. So he told them to go ahead and deal with it because then it would harm or create nuisance to human beings. So even in that sense, when something is harmful, something is going to affect your health, you have to deal with it in that sense, in the worldly wisdom sense. And I don't remember the third thing, which was just now there in my mind, but maybe later on I'll express. I just want to end with one thing, what I do, which I have learned, I mean, off late after coming much more deeper into Baba's gnosis. So when I have to kill a mosquito or an ant, as Roshni said, if it enters your chapati or something, or if I have to kind of remove it, I say Baba before killing. I just, or while killing or while chewing it, while dealing with it, I just say Baba. Or if it's a lizard, small baby that I'm killing, by killing, I say Baba. Give the soul a better birth, I don't know. But that's what I've been doing. Thank you.
Jai Baba Dilshad, thank you so much. So, with this couplet, your paper and the book, you are the school and the office, you alone exist. Your pen and ink, and you are the gifted writer, you alone exist. There's another little bit where Baba has said that before you start writing anything, invite me. Baba, you write, you speak, you do this. And keeping Baba always at the back of the mind and inviting Baba to be it, to be whatever that we need to share, whatever that we need to speak, whatever that we need to do. Yesterday, just another little episode happened where something took long and the person said, oh, finally it is done, and, you know, kind of a thing. And we shared that Baba has said, you know, that when we truly with all our heart invite him, then he takes over. Where we are not putting ourselves before him, then he is there. And not necessarily that the work will go smooth, but it shall definitely be successfully completed. And that is what comes to mind every time before doing anything. That may Baba help, that Baba help me to remember that you are the paper and the book and the ink and the words, and you are everything. So we'll go further with the words to the next couplet. You are the door and the window, you are the marble floor, you alone exist. You are the medicine and the disease, and the doctor also. You alone exist. You are the game and the player and the spectator also. You alone exist. You are the flower and the thorns, and you are the fragrance. You alone exist. You are the singer, you are the musical instrument, you are the sweet tunes, for you alone exist. You are the prayer and the words of the prayer. You are the forces of evil and the powers of light. You alone exist. You are the soldier and the army and the supreme general. You alone exist. You are the sailor, the ship, the wide ocean. You alone exist. With these words, it reminds on you are the floor and you are the marble. You know, when we were young, Bhabovi auntie would relate to this. Usually, I've seen, like, you know, Parsi moms. So when we would, as kids, fall down or anything, our parents would go and hit the floor and say, "Pat, pat!" Like, you know, you naughty floor, you hit my little child, and would keep. And it is a silly, fond memory of you know, childhood. And while listening to these words, I remembered my mom doing the same when I was young. And then I would say, "Oh, mom," like, you know, in my head, "Oh, mom, you didn't know, mummy, tamne nahi malum hatu ke floor is also Baba." So you would not hit Baba and say that Baba is naughty. And yes, it was a cute incident that came to mind when these words, I would keep mulling over them. Would anyone like to share something on any of these couplets? Please share if you've heard or anything close to your heart about this song prayer. You can raise your hands digitally. Yes, Katie auntie. Please unmute, Katie auntie. Katie auntie, can you unmute? Okay. Dilshad, you can say, I think you want to say again.
Uh, the, the third example that I had in mind and wanted to convey the point is that in terms of harming any other life and any other creatures, Baba has been very categoric when it comes to snakes. He has said that if you find a viper or a snake, you're supposed to kill it. Period. No questions. Just wanted to highlight it. Thank you.
Yeah. So there is a paragraph on that. I will try to extract it for tomorrow because there is something specific about this, about injured snakes and killing a snake if you see it injured. So I will extract that and read it out specifically for tomorrow's session on this. Thank you for the point, Dilshad.
My knowledge, it has nothing to do with injured. It is Baba has that there have been cases where Krishna on the night watch people would see a snake, and Baba would insist. Or, let's find out more. Yes, thank you.
No, no, I'm saying there is an additional thing about injured snakes as well. So I'm saying I will extract that and share it tomorrow. I don't remember it completely, so that is why I'm not sharing. Yes, Katie Auntie, thank you, Dilshad.
Did Baba talk about vegetarianism? Because if Baba is in every living being, then he might as be very veg, you know. Had he spoken anything about this? Now I'm scared of eating non-veg. I mean, if he's there in anything, then I mean, being veg is also good, you know. If he
Being
eats
veg
meat.
is any which ways. Being veg is any which ways good, Katie Auntie.
And when
And
he
we
eats
will.
anything and when he says, so it might as well be veg, you know.
Yes, yes. So great. If that is what is coming to you,
Yes.
great enough. That's a good thing. I'm also veg since last 10 years, and being a Parsi, non-vegetarian food is like lifeline.
Yes,
So
yes.
10 year,
This is
10 years
something
back to, yes. So 10
this is
years
something
back
new
to,
I heard today. This is something new.
yeah. So 10 years back to switch to vegetarianism was, quite a thought, and still a surprise to anyone who knows Parsi being a vegetarian. But Jai Baba, will move ahead with the next few couplets. You are the storm's turbulence and the tranquil waters. You are the pearl and you are the shell. You alone exist. You are the shore, the ferryman, and the sea also. You alone exist. You are the beggar, the giver, and the charity. You alone exist. You are the slave and the Lord. You are the beyond God. You are God. You alone exist. You are mother and father. You are master, brother, and friend. You are family and relatives. You alone exist. There is no one besides you. Eternally you are, for you alone exist. You are pran, energy, and you are heart. You are also the beloved of the heart. You alone exist. You are the beloved and the lover, and you are the nectar of love, as you alone exist. O priceless treasure of knowledge, you are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. You are in all the worlds, you are the ocean of attributes. O Meher God incarnate, you alone exist. You are the breath and life itself. Our minds are enthralled by your beauty, for you alone exist. You are the house, you are the inhabitants, and the bricks and furnishings. You alone exist. You are the worshipper, the worship, and the one worshipped, as you alone exist. You are consciousness and the way to consciousness. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Khwaja, you are Qutub, you are Pir and Kalandar. You alone exist. You are Hafiz, you are Sanai. You are Dara and Alexander. You alone exist. You are Jesus Christ, you are Ilahi. You are the ocean, infinite and pure. You alone exist. You are the Quran and the one who prays. You are Wali and you are the messenger. You alone exist. You are the beginning and you are the end. You are also beyond the beginning and beyond the end. You alone exist. You are infinitely beautiful and infinitely close. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Brahma and you are Vishnu. You are the guileless Shankar. You alone exist. Bhau says, O beloved Meher, you are the word and you are the letter. You alone exist. So, would anybody like to share anything?
Roshani?
Yes. Yes, Marta. Jai Baba.
Thank you. Jai Baba. Roshani, who is Vali and who is Shankar?
Great. So I was just about to read the glossary of these. I shall start now. Thank you for asking. We will let Seppi share and then I will read this out.
I just thought I'd share this about the snakes. It says Baba gave the final killing blow. Is it all right to read a short bit here? The same day, March 28, 1938, a 5-foot-long snake was seen outside the kitchen with a sparrow in its mouth. Baba was called and he came with a few of the men. One man struck the snake on its back and it released the sparrow, which flew away. Baba gave the final killing blow, crushing its head. Later in the evening after dinner, he remarked about snakes. Unless a snake is killed by a human being, it remains always a snake. Never leave a snake wounded, as it takes so long to die. Once wounded, a snake will always remain near you to be killed outright. On another occasion, the men killed a snake at Lower Meherabad and Padri brought it to Baba, who crushed its head. To Padri, he explained, in evolution, the snake form is like an entangled rope, which you cannot undo or unwind. However, if it's killed by a human being, the knot untangles itself and the soul is free to continue on its way through evolution.
Seppi, thank you so much for extracting that and reading it. Thank you for sharing. So I will read this little part. So the first word is sadhana, which comes in. Sadhana is a yogic spiritual practice or discipline. For that, we can refer to Meher Baba's discourses. 3, the word pran. A Sanskrit word pran is the original underlying force or energy in the universe, as the original space is called akash, which is sky as we call. Referred to the nothing and everything, pages 32-34, regarding the original conflict between pran and akash, causing the beginning of creation of matter. Creation or matter. 4th, Khwaja, meaning Lord, may refer to the Persian perfect master, Khwaja Khizr, who is a legendary figure who discovered and drank the water of life and became immortal and from time immemorial presides over the well of immortality. Khizr is a divine post of a perfect master who bestows realization and perfection upon a man who has no physical connection with a living perfect masterhood. 2 known instances when Khizr intervened was the perfecting of Francis of Assisi and Narayan Maharaj of Kedgaon. 5, the word Kalandar. Kalandar, literally meaning free-spirited in Persian, is a Muslim ascetic or monk who gives up all possessions and wanders in the world. 6th, Sanai. Sanai was a Persian Sufi perfect master and renowned poet of Shiraz, Iran, author of Hadikatul Hakikat, Garden of Truth, died in 1131. Seventh, Alexander refers to the Greek conqueror of Persia, Alexander the Great, king of Macedon, 356 BC to 323 BC. 8. In Arabic, a Wali or Wali Allah means a friend of God, a fifth plane mental conscious pilgrim who is said to speak with God or hear the voice of God. In Vedanta, a man of the fifth plane is called Shiv. In Sanskrit, the ancient Hindu mythology, Bali was the name of a king who was punished by God Vishnu in his incarnation as Vamana, the dwarf, for his excessive charity and condemned to rule over the netherworld. The name Vali was also of a monkey chieftain mentioned in the epic Ramayana. He was killed by Ram. 9. Shankar is another name for Shiva in Hindu mythology. The first man. Shankar is also the abbreviated name for the Vedic philosopher Shankaracharya, born 788 to 820. Jai Baba. In the three words that Bhauji used to tell everyone by giving the blessing, by tapping on our hands and saying Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh are also. So Mahesh is also another name for Shiva.
The destroyer.
Yes, the destroyer.
Or the
The creator, sustainer and destroyer. So that's Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh.
Baba rather uses the word dissolver more than destroyer.
Yes. Very true. Okay. Great. So now I will play another video which is recorded with dear Soumya Khambata, who has recited the Hindi version of Tum Hi To O, the original Hindi song prayer as given by Avatar Meher Baba.
हर भीतर ज्ञान के आगर करुणा सागर तुम ही तो हो सकल चराचर गुण के सागर नेहर प्रभुवर तुम ही तो हो तुम ही हो यजदान तुम ही हो इज्जत अल्लाह ईश्वर तुम ही तो हो राम तुम ही हो बुद्धा प्यारे गिरिवर तुम ही तो हो परब्रह्म तुम ही हो ईश्वर दया के सागर तुम ही तो हो तुम ही पयंबर हो पुरुषोत्तम ज्ञान के आगर तुम ही तो हो हर में तुम हो हर ही तुम हो ज्योति प्रियवर तुम ही तो हो निर्गुण तुम हो और सगुण भी पी लीलाधर तुम ही तो हो तुम ही निराले तुम ही अकेले सब में बसकर तुम ही तो हो अविचल स्वामी अविचल धामी सबके ऊपर तुम ही तो हो कर्ता कारक कर्म तुम ही हो पालक गुरुवर तुम ही तो हो साधन साधक और साधना मेहर प्रभुवर तुम ही तो हो आगे पीछे ऊपर नीचे स्वामी घर घर तुम ही तो हो परे परे हो भरे भरे हो सबके अंदर तुम ही तो हो तुम ही कबीला तुम ही बसीला सकल चराचर तुम ही तो हो ऊपर नीचे जहां कहीं भी एक बराबर तुम ही तो हो तुम ही अगोचर गोचर भी हो सब में हरिहर तुम ही तो हो कोई नहीं है सिवा तुम्हारे परम उजागर तुम ही तो हो तुम ही हो इंसान तुम ही पक्षी मछली जानवर तुम ही तो हो, खटमल पीसू सांप और बिच्छू, चींटी मच्छर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो कीड़ा, तुम ही हो घोड़ा, स्वान ब्रह्म खर तुम ही तो हो। हिरण तुम ही हो हाथी, बिल्ली बंदर तुम ही तो हो। चांद सितारे उषा तुम ही हो, रजनी दिनकर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हवा हो, तुम ही हो पानी, सारे जलचर तुम ही तो हो। चांदी सोना तांबा लोहा पीतल पत्थर तुम ही तो हो। चाय तुम ही हो कॉफी, चीनी शक्कर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो कागज किताब तुम ही हो, शाला दफ्तर तुम ही तो हो। कलम तुम ही हो स्याही, लेखक सुंदर तुम ही तो हो। द्वार तुम ही हो खिड़की, संगे मरमर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही दवा हो, तुम ही बीमारी, वैद्य घरोघर तुम ही तो हो। खेल तुम ही हो खिलाड़ी, दर्शक प्रभुवर तुम ही तो हो। फूल तुम ही हो, शूल तुम ही हो, खुशबू शुक्र तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो गायक, तुम ही हो वीणा, मधुर मधुर स्वर तुम ही तो हो। नमाज तुम हो, कलाम तुम हो, जादू मंत्र तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही सिपाही, तुम ही हो लश्कर, सबके अफसर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो माझी, तुम ही हो नौका, निर्मल सागर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो किश्ती, तुम ही हो तूफान, मोतियों जौहर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो साहिल, तुम नाखुदा हो, और समंदर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही भिखारी, तुम ही हो दाता, दान मनोहर तुम ही तो हो। दास तुम ही हो स्वामी, प्रभु परात्पर तुम ही तो हो। माता पिता गुरु बंधु स्नेही, कुटुंब बिरादर तुम ही तो हो। सिवा तुम्हारे न कोई दूजा, हमेशा अवसर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही जिगर हो, दिल भी तुम हो, सबके दिलवर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो प्रीतम, तुम ही हो प्रेमी, प्रेम सुधाकर तुम ही तो हो। सांस तुम ही हो जीवन, स्वामी मनहर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही मका हो, तुम ही मकी हो, सबके अंदर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही पुजारी, तुम ही हो पूजा, सबके परवर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही चेतना, तुम ही साधना, मेहर प्रभुवर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो ख्वाजा, कुतुब तुम ही हो, पीरो कलंदर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो हाफिज, तुम ही सनाई, दारा सिकंदर तुम ही तो हो। ईसा तुम ही इलाही, पाक समंदर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो कुरान, तुम ही नमाजी, वली पयंबर तुम ही तो हो। आदि तुम ही हो, अंत तुम ही हो, परे गुणाकार तुम ही तो हो। परम मनोहर, परम सहोदर, नेहर प्रभुवर तुम ही तो हो। तुम ही हो ब्रह्मा, तुम ही हो विष्णु, भोला शंकर तुम ही तो हो। भाव कहता ओ प्यारे मेहर, सब शब्द और अक्षर तुम ही तो हो। जय बाबा। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
Wasn't that so beautiful? And not just the prayer, but the amazing thing was that, in fact, after almost a year and a half of knowing the English version, You Alone Exist, which like caught on to me the first time that I saw the video done by Peter Nordine and the song composed by Jim Mayer, that I came to know that actually the original version was in Hindi, and it was the English version that obviously had caught on and become more famous, and the Hindi version had almost gone into oblivion, that many of us, at least youngsters, never even knew that there was the Hindi version was the original one. And therefore, all the more reason it was that to bring alive the exact words, because Baba had given them, when they were given, and for those Hindi words to come alive, and for us to know the original sweetness of those words that were composed way back in 1959 and then later 1962. So, would anyone like to share something? Anyone? Anything? Yes, Betty. Jai Baba.
I'm sure we all have little animal stories. A couple that I remember were that seemed that Baba was there. We were at Marana and we were beginning to pack up. We had my friend Cherry and I had the children's pandal, and so they had given us the garland that had been around. Where was it? Was it at Dooney? It had been. We had a special garland, and it was time to pack it up, and there was this big, beautiful bumblebee that would not leave. It just wanted to. It was just loving these flowers. It would not go. We could not. And we were all ready to go, and here was this bee and this garland, and so as I remember, we hung the garland up, and with the bee still with it, and I don't remember what happened after that. That was one story, and the other story was about a frog. Our family would drive to Los Angeles for this wonderful Sahavas every summer, so we would always come back full of Baba, happy, and we made a stop at a place that had it had a little pond, but had a little behind it, and a bit of amusement park for the kids. So we stopped, and I went walking behind the restaurant, and there was this pond, and I saw a frog, a great big bullfrog sitting on a rock. And so I came a little closer, and I assumed it would just jump off and go away, but it didn't. It just sat there. And I thought how it was strange. So I began to say, Jai Baba to this frog, and I got a little closer and a little closer, and I noticed that there was something funny about his mouth. And by now it was really unusual. He was letting me come very close to him. And I looked closer and I saw what it was that he had swallowed a fish. But the fish had gone down tail first, and so poking out of his mouth was another mouth. It was the mouth of the fish. And it was just, obviously it was stuck there. So I thought, well, I'll try. So I took Baba's name, Jai Baba. I got a little closer, and I was able to grab the mouth of the fish, and I lifted him up, and it was so stuck that I had to shake that frog to get him away from out of the fish out of his mouth. But I did. I shook the frog. He finally dropped away, and he went immediately away. And I had this dead fish, which was about as long in my hand. So that was the story of this frog and the fish. I bet we all have animal stories like that. Thank you, Jai Baba.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Betty. That was so sweet. I love another mouth hanging out of his mouth. Jai Baba. Yes, Michelle.
Okay, so I have a funny story. We had a Baba's birthday celebration, I think, at our place, and Charles Haynes was speaking, but this woman, Francine, was reading the You Alone Exist poem, and it had to be really early. This is like 91 or something, or 92. And she's reading it, and then when she says, "You are cat," my cat walks out, sits down, and starts taking a bath. Dirty Harry. That was his name. He was a big yellow tabby, and he just like walks out just as she says, you are cat." Whatever the line is, dogs. I don't know, but it was just on cue. It was so hilarious. Anyway, so I somewhere there was a cat thing. She said, "You are cat." Maybe it was that. I don't know. You are cats and monkeys. That's what it was. Yay. There it is. And she's like, "You are cat." And there's not Charlie. There's Dirty Harry. I couldn't even take a bath. It was funny. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. I remember Baba's story with the Pegasus, right? Her name, the cat who ran away from the owner and came into Guru Prasad, and it was there. And then after some days or weeks, that lady came, happened to come there and say, "Oh, my cat is gone missing," and there she was in Guru Prasad with Baba. So yeah, there's some wonderful pictures as well with Baba and the animals, and they're so adorable. Yes. Does anyone know any other stories about the monkeys and Baba's horse Shiba, or anyone? Anyone would like to share any story? Yes, Seppi.
I could share a story about a snake. My daughter is a veterinarian nurse, and she absolutely loves snake. I'm sorry, Didi, my friend who's watching, because she hates snakes. I know that. But it's brought her in a way closer to understanding Baba, because when she was younger, she actually has 3 snakes, and they are in my house at the moment. And when she was younger, though, she had one of the snakes, and she was asleep downstairs, and she felt somebody shaking her and waking her up. And now she is convinced it was probably Baba, although she's not that convinced about Baba yet. And the snake had got itself into the heat lamp and was burning. So she was able to save the snake. And obviously we ran downstairs and helped her, and the snake is still it's fine. That was about 8 years ago or so. And every time she's a bit not sure about Baba, she says, "Yeah, but I think that was Baba that woke me up to save my snake." Who's so even though he says that you can kill snakes so they have another lifetime, I don't know what will happen with her snakes, because they're domesticated snakes in a way. I'm not frightened of them, luckily, thank goodness. But that was a little story. So he was a way of him bringing her closer to him.
Jai Baba. That's so beautiful. And so very Baba to contradict himself. Of at one side asking to kill snakes, on the other side waking her up to save the domesticated snake. That's Baba. Yes, Michelle. Michelle, do you have something more to share? Okay, Marcia.
I wasn't thinking about any story, but something popped in my mind a long time ago, and it was Baba. I had a Siamese cat, and he kept going, wow, wow. And we also have goldfish, and the goldfish had jumped out of the bowl, and he let us know. And so we put it back in, and it was fine. It was a funny story. Anyway. Then I have one more story that's kind of, I don't know. We had possums in our backyard, and one of my dogs caught the possum, and it was in her mouth. And I said, "Leave it," And then I forgot that possums play dead. So it was laying there. I said, "I'll go back later and check." And sure enough, it was gone. It was like, thank God I didn't have to deal with it dead. But anyway, that's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you, Marcia. Jai Baba. Then, in fact, last year I also got to know that Baba also had a peacock, which I did not know before. And yes, it was quite sweet how the entire story came about just a day after a peacock episode that happened. So it was a new learning. Oh, wow, I'd never read Baba had a peacock. I'm trying to read something of.
Wasn't that Moti? Was his name Moti? I can't remember.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes.
kind of proud, a little arrogant. That's what I remember about him. Oh,
Okay. So I will read this from notes dictated by Meher Baba. It is, there is in the heart of divinity a thought for all that breathes, bird, animal, or man. Beloved Baba, in his impersonal aspect, is concerned not only with the well being of man, but also with that of all other forms of life. According to him, all animals and even plants and trees are inalienable part of the larger brotherhood to which we all belong. As a natural as a natural corollary of this, we have to be affectionate and considerate toward birds, animals, etc., not out of any sense of duty or even obligation, but out of the spontaneity of recognized values. Thus, according to beloved Meher Baba, love for animals or birds would be more than sympathy or consideration. It is a natural coordinate of acknowledged kinship with them. To deny love to birds or animals is, according to him, to repress one's own divinity. Beloved Baba's often repeated mandate to humanity is love life in all its forms. Beloved Meher Baba is God and as such experiences himself in all living beings, including birds, animals, vegetables, etc. We cannot adequately raise any question about what God's attitude is toward animals. God cannot take up a specific attitude in relation to his creation because he has himself become that creation. Since beloved Meher Baba is an incarnation of God, there can be no question of his taking up any attitude toward any forms of his own being. All who have had the opportunity to be with him have invariably observed that he loves birds and animals as much as he loves human beings. He often feeds them with his own hands, gets all their ailments attended to by competent doctors, and looks after them with the same parental care and love which we find expressed in relation to those humans who have the good fortune to come within his personal environment. This is by Chakradhar Deshmukh from notes dictated by Meher Baba for a letter to Irene Conaber, 1957. So, yes, Dilshad, we could definitely do a nice session on vegetarian and non-vegetarian and read out important parts. And we are already in our 7 realities meditation every Sunday that we are doing. We are reading one page of discourses, and there is a lot said about it throughout the discourses as well on the rules for the spiritual aspirants and many other different things. So please do join in if you can, but we can always have another session especially on this topic. Oh wow, and we see this little catty on Kunda's. Oh, 2 of them. Could you introduce us? And we have Seppi's. Mine is somewhere inside the room.
He was meowing outside. Nobody knows we're talking about cats.
Ah.
This is Zen, and our other cat is no longer with us. Siamese called Geisha after Baba's Siamese. But Zen was like, I know you're talking about animals. Let me in.
Jai Baba, Jai Baba. That's so beautiful.
Roshni, Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
So
Jai
this
Baba.
our cat looks like a Pegu which was in Guru Prasad, and the black
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful, Krishna.
Jai Baba.
And the black one is the baby. Black one is the kitten.
Oh, so sweet. And we always have Betty's, who is an, ardent audience for our artis. And I love seeing her pop in every time in frame. So cute. So we have an animal special for today. You alone exist.
Okay,
Let
Jai
me.
Baba.
Jai Baba Kundaji. So this passage is by Kitty Davy. Baba had a great feeling for all life. Life must not be treated lightly. Not a worm or an ant must be trodden on consciously. If unconscious, then it was excusable. If a mouse or a rat was caught on the hill or fell in a well, it had to be rescued and taken in a trap a mile from the compound and given its freedom. Or again, if a lizard was seen on the wall, it was caught in a towel or shooed through the door. Sick birds, little hares, lame dogs all found a heaven near Baba and were given into the care of Naja, who had a healing touch. When any of our pets died, Baba would always see that they were properly buried, supervising the operation himself. But he did not want us to be emotionally upset. Had they not been touched, cared for, and loved by Baba, thus death for them meant progression in evolution. And this is such a solace for our hearts when a loved pet leaves this world. And it has been with so many of my friends as well. And this entire, consolation that he or she is in Baba's love and care and, will move up in their cycle of evolution. And as everybody says, through the rainbow bridge and light bridge, and I say, okay, I don't know about that. Baba has not written about the rainbow bridge, but so be it. Wherever, however they go, may they be in Baba's love and care. So, yes. Anybody would like to share any song, any story, anything more? Tomorrow we have part 2 of You Alone Exist, where I have a small dance performance, which is a mime dance on the wonderful 23-minute version by Peter Nordine, Jim Mayer, which has been done. So I would perform that. It was created for Baba on the Silence Day 2 years back, where we had a gathering on Silence Day at our home, and we all met. And I had just had this urge to offer this mime dance to Baba on the Silence Day. So we'll do that. And then we also have a little surprise by Peter and Debbie dropping in for their little anecdotes on You Alone Exist, followed by the very special session on Interment Day tomorrow that we have for 7th February. Another date which I always felt not many knew about the significance and importance, and many never even talked about it as well. But it is an extremely important day where I feel the day where, in its literal sense, Baba started giving the lying down darshan to all of us to live in our hearts eternally. So we will have a panel discussion with 5 amazing speakers: Peter Nordine, Irvin Luck, Cyrus Khambata, Noshirwan Anzar, and Jimmy Khan from Mumbai, which is going to be late night Sunday for Indians. But please be there. It's a very, very special session, and we would love everyone to be there, and followed by discussion and sharing and experiences of anyone who has been up there on the Mehrabad Hill from 31st January to 7th February 1969. And we would open up for the potluck sharing of whoever wishes to share any experience from those precious 8 days of 1969. Yes, Dilshad, you wanted to say something. Please unmute, Dilshad.
Roshni, just one small thing. Perhaps you may know. I am not very sure, but there was one animal, white colored, and there are photographs of Baba Mera. It is actually a donkey misconstrued as a horse. There is a story where it is so beautifully kept, and it actually was a donkey, but was most people thought it was a horse. Sorry, my
Yes.
connection is very poor.
No, yes, there is a story to that. There was also Shiba. There's this beautiful book. I'll take it out tomorrow. And tomorrow, what?
This is a
Yeah, yes, I'll take out that picture which you are talking of, the donkey with Mehra and Baba standing alongside. And I'm saying I will read up also on Shiba tomorrow. And there was we'll also I'll take out the extracts about Lucky the monkey, who was a riot with all the mandli, and Cracker, and a few others as well. So tomorrow we'll share some more animal stories. And tomorrow, what I would like is that everybody free flowing, we will repeat the English couplets once again. I will put them on screen, and just one by one raise your hand and I will call out, and one person would read each couplet, and it would be beautiful for having 28 people read each of those couplets and just ingrain those words once again into our being, so that this important prayer, as Baba has said, a time will come where it will be played in every single household across the world. So we can cherish it more tomorrow once again. Tomorrow, same time after Aarti. So tomorrow, 6 p.m. IST, we have the Seven Realities meditation, followed by the Aarti at 7:30 p.m. Then 8:30 to 10:30 Indian Standard Time. Once again, we have the You Alone Exist special, and 10:30 to 12:30 a.m., which is 12 noon to 2 p.m. EST, is the Interment Day special. So tomorrow we have a long day together, and I'm so excited. Betty, could we have from you Always Wrong? And Leela, maybe you can give a gap, somebody else can share, but would love you to have both these songs because they are so apt for today's session. Maybe you could sing one and one tomorrow.
All right. Uh, 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 it's funny, always wrong. I sing it some. My good friend Huey McDonald brought this song to Are We Always Wrong? He brought it to our Baba group. But he told me that when he would sing it at Samadhi, Mansari didn't like it. I don't know why. I don't know. So consequently, I don't sing it all the time, but I'll sing it now. Always wrong. Always wrong. Always wrong. From the get-go to the late show, every day and all night long, always wrong. I'm always wrong. Every breath and every brainwave, every note of my little song, always wrong. I'm always wrong. Almost, but not quite, always seems to be my plight. It's kinda hard to be finite, but I'm yours, so I'm alright. Always wrong, always wrong. From the get-go to the late show, every day and all night long. Always wrong, always wrong. Every breath and every brainwave, every note of my little song, always wrong. I'm always wrong. I always do my best, never fail to make a mess. You put the burden on your chest and never love me any less. Always wrong, always wrong. From the get-go to the late show, every day and all night long, always wrong. I'm always wrong. Every breath and every brainwave, every note of my little song, always wrong. I'm always wrong. Lord, I wonder where your bliss went on the day you made myself. Though it's nice that I'm consistent, I wish it was something at something else. Always wrong, always wrong. From the get-go to the late show, every day and all night long, always wrong. I'm always wrong. Every breath and every brain wave, every note of my little song, always wrong. I'm always wrong. Always wrong. I'm always wrong. That's by Mark Riney. This is the ardent cat. She came to visit here, the one that you like, Roshani.
Jai Baba. Wonderful.
All right, I'll sing Leela tomorrow. Or should I?
Yes, tomorrow we can sing Leela. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Marcia, I so felt all through the session that you were sketching.
Look. Oh, show us, Marcia.
Could you put it up? Could you put it up and say something? And let's spotlight you for a minute.
I just did this on our it's just Baba. But I
Beautiful.
taking a watercolor class at the Chicago Botanic Garden online. So I have class today. So he told us to take a photograph. Can you see this? I took this picture myself, and then I had to sketch it like 3, 4 times, and think about perspective. So I'm getting ready for my class, so I did this one.
Beautiful.
Well, they're not done. And then I said, well, now I did this one. This paper I got when I was in India from Amrit, and the paper has little fibers in it. And I always was thinking, I wonder if that's Baba's hair. I don't know.
Beautiful.
This is like looking out my window, when I was taking.
Oh.
Want to see one more? This is it's all this really great paper. We're talking about like when I paint, I know that I'm not painting. It all comes from that. Because we talk about color and stuff. When I'm painting, it's like I don't even. I always get a good art.
Oh, wow.
This I just
Beautiful.
did in the last week. This is the last one I did. So anyway, I'm going to be doing one of those things on, I guess, in May, once a week. Art. So it's hard to decide what kind of art to show when you have
Thank you.
paintings from 1969 stuck away.
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh,
Wonderful.
wonderful seeing them, Marcia.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marsha. That was wonderful. I just found that photograph of the Baba's face on the moth. So I would.
Well, that's
Wow.
interesting. I saw that somebody posted it, and I snapshotted
Yes.
it and painted it from that.
I'd shared it on the story session when I had my Baba journey.
Oh, there it is.
I don't remember
Wow.
how I got it. I know I saw it when we
Amazing.
This is the photograph that's there in my hall. It's hanging in the center.
Oh, that's incredible.
Wow.
Amazing. For you,
And this was
Roshni. Woo.
and this was in a chapati that I was actually throwing off on a flight to KL. And I just finished all the food and I was giving the tray and I felt, don't give, don't give. So I kept the tray back and opened up the foil. And there in that last piece of chapati that I was throwing away was Baba. And it did not perish. I had this in a plastic for almost 3 years,
Oh, wow.
till 2019.
Wow. I'm so glad you took a picture. Oh, because
Yeah.
we hear it all the time, but wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
And when these happen, I often see them less as miracles and more as Baba's reminders that I am in everyone and everything, and I am everyone and everything. And it just, it just brings. I don't have the right words to use. It just brings back that maybe something has happened, and Baba needed to give me this reminder. So thank you, Baba, and yes.
Very
So
true.
we will.
Very true. Very true.
Oh.
So we will move towards the end of the session for today. Free flowing sharing, if anybody wants to, after that as well. I will play the Meher Dhun, followed by the Australian Aarti for our every time Saturday closure that we have. Or would you like me to play the 7-minute version again of You Alone Exist and then we close with the Aarti? What do you all say? Should I play the You Alone Exist again?
Sure, yes, let's do it.
I would love to see it again.
बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
O priceless treasure of knowledge, you are within and without, and you are the ocean of mercy. You are in all the worlds. You are the ocean of attributes. O Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are Yazdan, you are Rizad, you are Allah and Ishwar. You are Ram and you are Buddha. You are beloved Lord Krishna, who with one finger lifted the mountain. You alone exist. You are the beyond God, and the beyond God also. O ocean of kindness, you alone exist. You are Mohammed, you are perfection personified. You are knowledge itself, and you alone exist. You live in everyone, and you are everyone. Oh beloved, you are the enlightened one, and you alone exist. You are with attributes and without attributes. You are the sole player in the divine game. You alone exist. are matchless, the only one. You reside in every heart, and you alone exist. You are eternally motionless, and immovable is your abode. You are the highest, you alone exist. You are the doer, the deed, and the cause of doing. The sustainer you are, and the master of masters, you alone exist. You are the seeker, the worship, and the sadhana. Oh, Meher, God incarnate, you alone exist. You are in front and behind. You are above and below. Oh Lord, you live in every house, and you alone exist. You are beyond, beyond, yet you remain within everyone. You are all pervading, and you alone exist. You are in each neighborhood. You are the sustainer. You yourself are all worlds, and you alone exist. Everywhere, whether above or below, you are complete. You alone exist. You are unseen, yet seen also. You live in everyone, forgiving each his sins. You alone exist. There's no one without you. You are manifest and unmanifest, as you alone exist. You are man, you are birds, you are fish and animals, for you alone exist. You are bugs and gnats. You are snakes and scorpions. You are ants and mosquitoes. You alone exist. You are insects, you are lice. You are dogs, asses and pigs. You alone exist. You are deer and elephants. You are cats and monkeys. You alone exist. You are the moon and the stars, the dawn and the night, and the sun and also the light. You alone exist.
अवतार
Baba, Meher 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 Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
O glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart, meher, I give to you to speak. Creator, yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Through compassion, the three worlds maintain. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling strokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me unto death. Unless you are infinitely kind, break the wheel of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in grace, and beg your love to bear me through the day. Till you, the ever-living perfect one. Illume my darkness with your shining sun.
Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. We'll have 1 minute of silence. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
We shall, all of us will unmute now and say Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai 3 times. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Jai Baba. Thank you so much, everyone, for all the wonderful shares. Thank you.
Thank you, Roshani.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Baba. Oh, wow. That is an acknowledgement. He loved it too. Angela, I see you are looking extremely fresh and vibrant. Can we have one more song from you?
Because I'm looking so fresh. Okay.
Extra fresh in his love.
You know, I was thinking that even though I played this last week, it's still fun to play this song.
The Wower.
Haven't heard it? Yes, the key word is wower. For those who haven't heard the song, meaning more wow. Life is sweet and sour. Baba, the perfect flower, says now don't be dour. Come to the arty hour, which just gets wower. He has the power to make love shower and turn that glower into happy hour, which just gets wower. All kinds of troubles just melt into rubble, thus all our differences vanish into nothingness. Baba, sweet caress, worry vanishes, a great game of chess for him who loves you best. Life just gets wower. We are his chipmunks, living here amongst Maya's very worst. Witness that time just makes his wine wower. All kinds of trouble just melt into rubble, thus all our differences vanish into nothingness. Life is sweet and sour. Baba, the perfect flower, says now don't be dour. Come to the arty hour, which just gets wower.
just gets wilder.
Hey.
Jai Baba.
Che Baba. How are we, Auntie? Can we have one song from you too? Please.
Hey, darling, I tell you, I
Pelu
really
Majanu
enjoyed
English
today's
song. Pelu
program.
Majanu at the Samadhi you sing always. Whatever your favorite song, whichever you want.
Any requests? Okay, let's
Any
do Welcome to My World. Shall we do that,
yes.
Angela?
Yes.
Because Baba's
Everybody
welcomed us
please
all to
mute.
this lovely
Everybody
morning.
please mute your mics. Those who haven't. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
how are we,
everybody sing
Auntie?
along. Fine? Okay. Everybody join in, please. Chal. Welcome to my world. No, I'm getting the right tune. I just had a lot of ice cream in between. Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Miracles I get still happen now and then. Angela, come on. Step into my heart. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world. It with you in mind. Knock and the door will open. It will open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you will be given a key to this world of mine. I'll be waiting here with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Everybody, knock and the door will open. It will open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you will be given a key to this world of mine. I'll be waiting here with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Jai Baba. Thank you.
Jai Baba, so sweet, so sweet.
Lovely. Seppi, are you sharing something?
Need a guitar at the back or piano. You know, my not today, but do you do the prayer, Angela Bocelli's prayer? Angela, you play that ever? The prayer, Angela Bocelli? Andre Bocelli's rather, I'm
Oh,
saying Angela.
I haven't learned that one. I should learn that. It's beautiful.
Yeah. You know who, Carol Gunn always plays the piano, and I sing that song at the Samadhi. It's so very beautiful. So very beautiful.
Lovely. What a beautiful arti and sharings. Jai Meher Baba.
You sing your song normally, you sing it now. Today, just now, I'll have to sign off. I made my son put the phone down. I said, please, I'll call you later. And now later has really become later. Out here, it's almost 11:45. You all
Yes.
must be starting your day today, right, Angela? You all are starting
It's midday here.
Yeah, I know.
It's lunchtime.